Pop-up headlights. Pop-up headlights were often seen on sports cars, yet Honda also incorporated them into their models. These headlights could be raised and lowered, and when inactive, they remained hidden. Although this style of headlights originated in the 1930s, changes in vehicle lighting regulations occurred over time. By the 1990s, safety concerns led to the gradual disappearance of pop-up headlights. As a result, manufacturers phased out this lighting design, which eventually vanished entirely by 2004. The purpose behind automatic seatbelts remains somewhat unclear, but many small cars produced in the 1980s were equipped with them. If you recall stepping into an older Honda Civic or Honda Accord, you likely remember the seatbelt sliding across your shoulder automatically. The idea was that occupants wouldn't need to remember to fasten their seatbelt since the car would handle it for them. Despite good intentions, these seatbelts still required manual fastening of the lap belt, which many individuals neglected to do. Additionally, the seatbelt motors often experienced issues such as burning out or becoming stuck, making it nearly impossible to buckle up. Consequently, by the early 1990s, this feature was completely discontinued. Previously, car buyers often voiced concerns about their antennas being stolen or damaged, particularly during car washes. To address this issue, automakers introduced power antennas, which remained in use on cars until the early 2000s. While power antennas offered various advantages, such as improved functionality, they also presented a downside. They were more complex to replace or repair, potentially costing hundreds of dollars. Fortunately, as time passed, automakers developed ways to integrate antennas into the car's design, rendering the power antenna obsolete. Vent windows enabled car passengers to push out a small triangular glass piece to allow fresh air into the vehicle. This was an important design aspect, especially since most cars in the first part of the 20th century lacked air conditioning. Even in the 1950s, air conditioning was only found in the most luxurious cars. As air conditioning became more affordable and eventually became a standard feature in vehicles, vent windows gradually became less common. Some of the last vehicles to include this feature were the 1996 Ford F-150s and Dodge Rams. During that period, Landow roofs were seen as the epitome of American luxury. These roofs, often made of vinyl, were designed to mimic the appearance of a convertible and were named after a horse-drawn carriage originating from Landow, Germany. However, a significant issue with these roofs was their tendency to degrade and eventually disintegrate. Replacing the vinyl covering could be a costly endeavor and was not something many individuals wished to handle. By the 1990s, this style of roof had fallen out of favor, although occasionally you might still encounter a Landow roof on a new Cadillac. Heavily influenced by the movies Smokey and the Bandit, and the fact that cell phones were non-existent, some cars in the 1980s had the option to come with a CB radio. The CB radio made two-way communication between cars really convenient. But the fad seemed to die off pretty quickly as cell phones became universally accepted. CBs are still around though, and many enthusiasts, truckers, and emergency responders continue to use the device. And it seems that some reliable technologies, like CB radios, never quite go out of style. While General Motors introduced the removable T-top roof design, numerous other car manufacturers also embraced it. Ttops became an iconic feature of the 1970s and 1980s. However, Ttops posed significant safety concerns. Foremost among these was the compromise of the car's structural integrity. Additionally, issues such as leaking roofs and damage to the Ttops due to improper storage of the glass panels arose. Ultimately, automakers abandoned this concept entirely, although GM continued to offer them as an option on certain models until 2002. Like most features of early American cars, front bench seating was a holdover from the horse-drawn carriage, allowing for extra passengers or just to give everybody a little more room. The bench seat was a popular feature of the big American sedan. Safety regulations in the 1970s led to the bench seat declining in popularity, but they remained in many trucks. The introduction of the center console meant that many new cars simply didn't have the space. But if you were a kid in the 1970s and 80s, there is no doubt you rode around on that front bench seat. The Crown Victoria was one of the last modern sedans to offer bench seating. Other than that, bench seats in sedans were abandoned altogether. As car manufacturers aimed to enhance the interior comfort of their vehicles, velour seats gained widespread popularity. These seats were intended to offer a more comfortable and luxurious experience, and could be found in various car models ranging from Hondas to Cadillacs. However, a notable drawback of velour seating was its tendency to induce sweating. During long summer journeys, velour seats proved to be less than ideal. Moreover, they were not very durable, often breaking down and losing their plushness within a couple of years. While Chrysler continued to use velour seating until the 1990s, for most people, it was a feature associated with the 1980s, eventually becoming a relic of that era. Remember car seats that had button tufting? These were ultra-comfortable seats that made cars feel even more luxurious. This type of seating was often included on lower trim levels, which GM was notorious for doing. Chrysler was one of the last automakers to offer this in their K-car interiors. Over the years, button tufting became just a fad that could often be found in the lowriders that were cruising the main streets of America. Nowadays, seating is more comfortable than ever, and leather is now the go-to upholstery for the car industry. The image of a family embarking on a vacation in a wood-paneled station wagon wasn't just confined to movies. Numerous car models featured faux wood panels along their sides. While this aesthetic was acceptable at the time, the paneling was often poorly constructed, leading to it falling off or deteriorating. Many car brands utilized this wood paneling, with Chrysler being among the last to offer it on the Town & Country minivan until 1996. Today, wood paneling adds charm to vintage vehicles and serves as a nostalgic reminder of those family road trips in the classic station wagon. In retrospect, reflecting on the evolution of car features from pop-up headlights to wood paneling, it's evident how automotive design has adapted to changing tastes, safety standards, and technological advancements over the decades. From the iconic, yet impractical features like Ttops and front bench seating, to the once popular yet flawed choices such as velour seats and button tufting, each era brings its own unique charm and challenges. As we look back nostalgically on these features, we appreciate how they contributed to shaping the automotive landscape and creating lasting memories for generations of drivers and passengers. Today, as leather upholstery and advanced comfort features dominate the market, we can't help but marvel at how far we've come while cherishing the enduring legacy of classic car elements like wood paneling, reminding us of the simpler joys of family road trips and the open road. Thanks for joining us at Remember When. If you enjoyed this video, chances are you will love our other videos as well. Go check them out.